Good Sunday morning, I'm Jaden Jefferson, and thanks for joining me on Community Focus. This morning I am joined by Coleena Ali, the new manager of Tenant and Landlord Services for the city of Toledo. Find out what her new role entails and more in our extended conversation. Take a look. So would you first be able to give me an idea of what your new role entails?
Well, first of all, it is a brand new role with the city, and I'm the first one in this role. So get an opportunity to really bring it together, what we're going to be looking at for the city. And so this role came as a result of the housing study that was done in the last year and a half or so. And there was a need for a position, kind of like a liaison, the advocate, a coordinator. You can use a bunch of different, adjectives there, but related to tenant and landlords. There was definitely a need for the city to really have their hands on what's going on in that space and being able to connect with the tenants and the landlords and primarily educate them, and also focuses on the tenant protection ordinances that were put in place like in the last 2 years or so. So that'll be a lot of my role right there.
And the city of Toledo is currently facing a housing shortage. We're short by many units here in the city. So what needs to happen in order to improve that situation?
Well, unfortunately, that is a national problem. It's not just locally here in Toledo, although in Toledo, we have to focus on, the people that live amongst us. And it is a problem. There needs to be more housing built, more housing that is safe. Because that is one of the issues too, because there is a lot of people say, well, all those empty houses, why aren't they doing something with them? Well, the fact of the matter is, yes, there are a lot of empty houses. A lot of them would take substantial rehabilitation to get them up to par for them to be safe for anybody to even want to live into them. And then even if we did all of that, there still would be a shortage. And so it's a means of also having to build additional housing, especially what they call like that middle segment right there. We have a lot of multifamily that has a lot of units, and then we have the single family units, but there's not a lot of duplexes that are being built anymore, or the quads, or the mid-rise type of apartment complexes. Those need to be built too.
And you're the new tenant and landlord services manager. So when it comes to tenants and landlords, what would you describe as the ideal relationship?
Well, the ideal relationship, let me take it from both angles. For the tenant, the ideal relationship is to have a landlord that is responsive and also understanding, because sometimes we get a little bit beyond that little period of, not having late fees and being understanding, but also responsive. Hey, this happened in the unit, this needs to be taken care of, and they do it promptly. And from the landlord's perspective, the ideal relationship would be for the tenant to pay on time, when it is due, and not cause any damage to the unit. And so where's the middle at? And that's where I kind of come in the play, is trying to get that middle for both of them. There's going to be education series that'll be going on after the new year, both for landlords and tenants, independent of each other, because they each have their own needs, and what we need to speak to for them is going to be different.
And wonderfully put. When we're talking about these relationships, you're obviously new to this role, but so far, what have you learned with regard to tenants and landlords here in Toledo? Would you say that they're able to work well with each other and vice versa?
Yeah, I think I will be able to work well with them. My history has been that I have been in property management before, so I understand, what the landlord perspective is. But then I also have the heart for, individuals that may be in a situation where they could be potentially losing their housing. And so I don't want anyone to lose their housing. Housing is just foundational. It impacts the ability to, have and maintain a job. It impacts, the youth in terms of being successful in school, having a place to go, lay your head at night, a place where you can cook a meal, even if you're just heating up in a microwave. All that is just is huge. So all of this is like near and dear to my heart.
And as we enter into the new year, what are some goals that you have set for 2023 in the city of Toledo? And it's difficult to believe that we're already in 2023 getting there.
I know that is amazing. And so couple of things. First is to be able to get the educational series launched after New Year in 2023, and then also getting a tenant landlord portal set up so that anyone can go there for information. Of course, there's some things already out there on the website, but Where do you go for this? Where do you go for that? How do I do certain things? And I also want to have a video component to it, very short clips, similar to like TikTok type of reels, because we don't like to listen to those 5-minute videos. It has to be something quick and it has to be exactly what people want. So there's going to be a series of those that come out. So those are like my big 3 things that I really want to work on. It sounds like it's only 3 things, but actually there's a lot of components to that to really get that to be successful.
And working in the city of Toledo, you definitely have a busy year ahead of you. Coleena Ali, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and that's this week's Community Focus. Have a great week.